Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today, and I guess a little bit in the future, we'll be going through a tutorial on my current ProxMox setup, how I have set things up on my side, and I guess how you can achieve a similar result on your end if you are starting your home lab journey. So the main things that we'll be covering, right, in this, I guess, multi-part series will be how to set up containerized images on your ProxMox node. Second of all, how to set up virtual machines. Thirdly, will be how to back up your current nodes, right? So in case anything does go wrong, how you can recover and I guess bring stuff back. And finally, we'll be going through, I guess, a quick rundown on the rest of my home lab setup aside from just ProxMox, right? Like the networking portion, how everything all comes together. So I guess currently you see that I'm on my home lab, right, which is my current ProxMox setup. And you can see that there are many different containers on the left side. Anything from 100 to 105 are the containers. The rest of them are virtual machines that I have set up. And currently we'll start from scratch, right? So I'll show you guys how to, I guess, from scratch set up a ProxMox node, and we will use this test VM that I have created just for that. So on your end, you won't have a ProxMox node like this to start from. So what you would have to do is install a application such as Rufus or Balena Etcher, and with many different instructions online, you can set them up for your, I guess, test case, right? And so once you have the USB flash ready to go, once you're booted up into this ProxMox node, the steps that I have taken to achieve the, I guess, the way I want to set it up is that we choose the graphical interface, right? It doesn't really matter which one you go with, but we'll just be using this for the testing for now. Currently, it's just decompressing all of the files that are in the ISO image, and shouldn't take too long for you to boot into the installer. So if you want to read this, it's just some basic stuff about like any rules, regulations that you should follow. Then go next. Now you would choose, if you have multiple different hard disks, you would choose which of the ones you want to choose from. I currently only have one right now, so we will click on next into that one. Location is Canada. Time zone, I am located in Toronto, so you will go find that. Password, this will be the root password. So you will choose the password, make it secure, add some numbers, add some like hidden characters, right? To kind of make it more complicated, just in case anyone does get on your network. Let's hope it doesn't, but and then an email. This one doesn't really matter until you make your, I guess your own like email server or you have your own domain. I do, right? And I'm just gonna make my, I guess my email address. Click on next. This part is important. So here is where you will put the name of your ProxMox node, right? So initially, some people might just name it Prox, this, that, but name is something that means that's something useful for you. For now, this is going to be my test ProxMox environment, so I'm going to say test proxmox.krishabin.com. So basically, if you redirect this domain or this name to this IP address, the one that we will choose, it will forcefully be just given access to the homepage for logging in. And so the IP address that we want, for me, I want 90, right? That's just what I've set up on my router. And leave the /24, that's the subnet version. Gateway, you might have a different IP address set up in your home, 192.168. something, and just make sure this is for your router. And if you have anything else you want to set up for the DNS, you can set, if you have something set up on your router, you can leave it at the router's DNS server. If not, a specific one that I usually use is 1.1.1.1, which is Cloudflare's DNS server. It's quite fast. That's just, it's already been configured on the router, so for me, I am good here. And so once everything is set up, it'll install and reboot automatically. We want to keep this checked. So install. This part might take 5-ish minutes, but in that case, I will be back once everything is completed. Righty, okay. So on my end, the system is rebooted, and basically you're prompted with that screen to, I guess, choose which mode you want to go into. There's BIOS, there's the operating system itself. If you don't do if you don't do any selection within 5 seconds, then it will default to booting into the OS, and now you'll be prompted with welcome to the ProxMox virtual environment, and the IP address or the URL which you should go to access the web user interface for this. If there are any things that say that something goes wrong in the web UI, you can always revert back to this console, log in with root and the password that you chose earlier, and you would be able to log in. And commands you can send here, right, in case the IP address changes or there are multiple IP addresses that are assigned to the system, but you don't know which one to access with, then you can kind of figure all that out and treat this just as a Linux shell environment. So we are done with this for now. We don't need to access this. Now we will open up our browser. So this is the IP address that I've assigned to it, and where we will, sorry, 190, and where you will go in order to access the web UI. So by default, on the latest versions of the ProxMox VE, by default it's dark mode, which I really like. And so you would log in with the credentials that we used earlier, and welcome. This is ProxMox. We've set up everything on, I guess, the physical side. Let's say if you have a physical system, everything has been set up. And just to quickly make sure whatever you have is currently, I guess, visible here, you would want to just check in this in the resources department to see, okay, if you have the CPU that you've assigned that are on the CPU that you have, the memory should be all showing up, and same with the storage. So I have 250 gigs of storage on my hard drive, and then 62 gigs of memory, 64 technically, but I'm not sure why it's not all there, but it's all right. And I assigned 8 CPU cores on for this node. So from here, I'm gonna leave it all for this first video. But on the next one, we'll be kind of talking about the first steps and the primary like goals that we need to kind of achieve in order to, I guess, set up a long-term ProxMox node that you would be using, I guess, multiple years, right? In order to make it more efficient for that that time that it's being used. So I will catch you guys in the next one. That is it for now. And if you have any questions, please do let me know. So that's all for now. Take care. Bye bye.